What's up, guys? Welcome back. Metasports, week 1 in the books. We're going to go over some game recap and some fantasy recap. How was it for you, big dog?
Fantasy-wise, it was great. Games, not so well.
Damn. As always, I'm here with the homie Chris.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
His Browns lost, so he's not feeling too good about that.
It's depressing, man. It's been years of misery, and we have our ups and downs, but this Sunday was unwatchable. Unwatchable. Honestly, it's a good start to what we can go off it because honestly, it was sad and depressing. If we lost in a close game, whatever, I wouldn't have been that mad. But just like from the beginning of the game, our offense just looks so bad, dude, and it's honestly, like, especially as Browns fans, no matter how bad we've been throughout the season, our beginning of the season hope, which every real fan should have, like, no matter what, but like the misery we've had as fans,
No matter what, yeah, it's a clean
right,
slate.
right, for sure. And like I said, even though we've went through misery and shit, our hope for this season, especially going off of what happened last season, we had a great season besides obviously the playoff game. We started off decent on defense. We held CD pretty well in the first half. But Deshaun he looks terrible. He looks like he doesn't know how to play football anymore. And he had flashes last year, but like it sucked, man. It was tough to watch.
Right. I don't want to. It's Tuesday. You've already had a couple days to digest, so I'm not going to try to, drag you around through it, my boy. I know how it is, dude. It's tough. I'm just gonna be on the optimistic side. I'll say it's week 1. They're playing against a good team. But yeah, he's obviously got to bounce back, and they're gonna give him some time here. They've obviously invested a lot, so give him some time, and hopefully they can get back on track. It's early, man. It's week 1.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's funny because my Bucks won. Obviously, I was stoked about that. We fucking played well, played great. But
Absolutely.
like, just to go on the 0-1 thing, my fantasy, one of my fantasy leagues, the 951 league, bro. My league. I'm the commissioner in that league, and if you ask me, it's the most important league by far for me. Like, and it's the toughest league, and so I want to win that one, and I'm 0-1. I lost to the weekly high score and Kevin, top of the standings for the first and last time of his life
Ever.
Yes.
so cocky about it too. Goddamn Cornelius.
I know, dude. So no, but his guys showed up this week, and I lost that one, and I'm over here, not stressing it, dude. It's one game at the end of the day. The goal is not to go undefeated. So 0-1 is not the end of the world. We can bounce back. So we're gonna be going over a bunch of that stuff today.
For sure, man. And like I said, I'm definitely optimistic the rest of the season. I mean, dude, I've watched games we're getting blown out, and I'll turn it away. I'm turning the channel. We're getting blown out. I still have the glimmer of hope. I'll turn it back. Hey, how we doing? You know what I mean? But yeah, it's week 1. Gonna be a lot of overreactions, fantasy, team wise. It's gonna happen. But let's talk about your Bucks game, though, man. Let's get to that game next, man. Obviously, your Bucks played really well. You got to play against the rookie and Jane Daniels, who actually looked really damn good.
Dude, for fantasy wise, because we do a lot of fantasy, my gosh, dude, like I was watching that game because I didn't, I know you guys was the game of the week, but I don't miss my games. And man, that dude, like I text you guys, I text the group in the chat, like, dude, he looks like Lamar, like even his build, like, and he'll tug it, dude. Like there were so many plays where we had the perfect play call, a free blitzer running right at him, and he just whoop, and he's out for fucking 30 yards, dude. And he's gone. Like, guys got to break down against him, and you can't just run free at him. You got to have like a spy, because homie can scoot, bro. He can run
for sure.
Like, he's got a good arm too. He's got like his mechanics. Like, he's a better thrower, it looks like, than Lamar. And I'm throwing some comparisons out there, but he's legit, bro. That kid can play for sure. Like.
He's an upgraded RG3 for them. I mean, he's an upgraded RG3, honestly, for them. It's what it looked like, dude. The way he was slipping tackles almost, and like, I don't know, he just looks, and for a slimmer build too, because he's not the biggest guy, dude. For him to be able to slip tackles like that, and it looks like you said Lamar-esque, and it's his rookie year doing that. And the Bucks defense is no slouches, so to be able to do that and have that, how many rushing yards do you have? Like one
over 100, yeah. And like, we don't give up a lot of 100-yard rushers, but it was
Jesus.
out of a passing situation, they just drop back pass, and it was just scrambled. They weren't like design runs. When they do that, we normally can sniff that out. We're pretty good at it, but they were just out of a drop back pass. He feels the rush. He's got a good feel, and he tucks that thing down and goes. Man, he can run. So like I said, he's definitely Lamar-esque. He's gonna be, depending where guys got him in fantasy drafts, like he's gonna help guys win a lot of leagues potentially.
For
Like
sure. And you
the
got to get him
ADP for
late.
him,
You got to get him late.
dude. Yeah, he's that dude's gonna be money this year. I could tell already. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big one. So
Big win. Bake played his ass off too. Bake played his ass off.
yeah, man, for sure. Like people keep hating all you want, but our offense, it fits him well, and like we just got a lot of weapons around him. We got built the offensive line up, and we got the dogs outside. So I honestly, like I said, people call me a homer, but he's a dark horse MVP candidate, dog. He's gonna put up numbers. This week's gonna be tough in Detroit. Obviously he's got some redemption on his mind, but I think Baker's obviously going to have a hell of a season. Like the team is that's why Tom Brady went to Tampa, because they had, a nice duo already at receiver. They had a decent offensive line, like the foundation is there, Baker, he just needed a complete team and some guys. So like, obviously, yeah, I'm fucking pumped for him, pumped for us. But at the end of the day, it's one game. It's only 1-0. Like I already brought up Detroit. That's the big one for us. That's measuring stick. I expected to beat Washington.
You want that revenge game,
dude? In Detroit, let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think the thing too, I was watching. I think it was Bust with the Boys that he was on, Baker, but the pressure that he had in Cleveland compared to the pressure that he has in Tampa, it's way less. He's way more comfortable. He's not having to have everything on his shoulders in Tampa to where he can be
number
more
one overall pick,
and
the savior, compared to a castaway on his last contract. Nobody expected anything. They expected him to be done. Like they were talking about him being a broadcaster and shit. I remember hearing about that. It's like, dude, like he's like he just needed the chance and everything in the right situation. That's the case for everybody.
Yeah, he needed a fresh start, right?
Even my boy Jameis. I won't go there too yet. I won't go there yet. But my man needs a shot.
Hey, Josh keeps fucking around, dude. He keeps fucking around. He's there. He's our backup.
Homie. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Oh man. But anyway, let's get into some fantasy stuff, bro.
For sure.
Let's get into some fantasy stuff because those are our two teams. But some fantasy, dude. Like I have Jordan Love went down on Friday night. I'm a Jordan Love owner, so guys got to pivot. I did that in a couple. I got him in 2 leagues, so I had to make some adjustments. I actually made an adjustment on Sunday. Picked up Matthew Stafford before that Sunday night game. I was able to pick him up, so as like just in case kind of guy. And in my other league, I picked up Justin Fields, who was a last minute replacement for Russell Wilson, so he wasn't getting drafted. So like there are some quarterbacks out there that you could potentially get. A lot of people are grabbing Baker right now.
Baker's a good. He's available in most leagues. Stafford's available in most leagues still. Not a lot of people in their drafts drafted a lot of backup quarterbacks unless you're smart like us. Didn't draft a lot of backup quarterbacks.
Yeah. I was all in on Jordan Love, bro. I didn't have any, so I worked he went out Friday, so it like gave me a little time, and like the report came out, by Sunday that like he was gonna miss some time, so it allowed me some time to work the waivers and see what I can do. And
way better than what it was going to be, though. I mean, he could have been done for the season. So, I mean, did you drop him completely or?
No, Jordan Love, hell no. Like they didn't even put him on. They didn't even put him on IR. Like I honestly feel like it's going to be. They said 3 to 6 weeks. I think it's going to be about 3. Like the way he was walking, like he did some light squatting on the sideline and stuff. Like he was like if you fucked something, if you tore something, I don't think you're doing all that. Not even trying to put. You're gonna be extra cautious. So
they'll cater to him too. They'll cater to him. That offense, that coach is smart over there in Green Bay. So I mean, they'll cater to him and work around it with their play calling to keep him healthy. That'll be fine.
Honestly, most people that drafted him, I don't think they drafted him in the first 5-6 rounds. So
we both got him in 7th, I think, round or something like that.
I streamed the QB position last year on a team that won. Like that's you can do it, and unless you're in a 2 QB league, it might kind of hurt because then the pickings are slim or whatever. But which they were. I was fortunate to snag Justin Fields, bro. I grabbed him, and like Fields, like he's always been pretty fantasy solid. I know in real
Only reason
life
why
he's
he have a
not
good
the
game, it's a new
best.
offense. He wasn't even expected to start till the last minute. So that's the only reason why he didn't have a great fantasy game. So all those fantasy owners out there that are worried about Justin Fields, I wouldn't be worried about him. And honestly, I think he's going to end up starting the rest of the season. All he's got to do is win a couple games, and I think Russell Wilson
And
ends
they
up sitting on
win,
the
bro.
sideline.
That right.
Right.
If he goes 2-0, like
They
then
already said
Russ,
he's
I don't
starting
care.
Sunday. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's
So
pretty quick.
if he can go 2-0, then they're
Right.
gonna give him. I think they're going to give him till maybe 2-1, 2-2. Like
Right. Right.
unless you start losing, which they don't do. Tomlin doesn't really do over there. So once they start losing, then they might make a switch if that happens to be the case. But as long as they're winning, they might stick with Fields, and I was able to pick him up off of waivers and in the league. So there's some guys out there. Baker, he's actually
I
got a
got
decently
Tua.
tough
I
matchup
think I got
this
Tua
week.
in my one. I got Love. I picked up Tua. I also had Love in the league and as my quarterback in my Valley league. And I had Tua too, just because I had so many injuries last year, dude. I really drafted depth this year because I was fucking, like you said, safe, dude, in a lot of them because I think I've got a second quarterback in every league. I don't think there's a league that I didn't draft a second quarterback because I had fucking so many injury problems last year. But Tua, like you said, Baker's a good option on the bench. We got Justin Fields, who's another. I feel like there's some. Goff is available in some leagues too. Goff wouldn't be a bad pickup
No,
too.
yeah, well he got drafted in all three of the leagues that I'm in, so he's
Yeah,
he's not he's not really one that's out there. Like I saw, who is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had himself a solid day,
he
man.
balled. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And a lot of people are saying that he's going to be this year's Baker, because
Yeah,
he signed a cheap deal. He was a high draft pick. He's still young, and now he's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Wait till T.J.
Addison's.
Hawkinson comes
What's going
back.
on with Addison though? Didn't isn't he going on
He might, yeah, I think
IR
his
or what did
ankle
they?
or something.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
he
yeah,
played the game. I think he got hurt, so he
yeah.
might, but it wasn't nothing major. He's not
Okay.
on the IR, so it's like if anything, he probably just sprained an ankle. So like, I don't even know if he's gonna be out. But I mean, week one, dude, fucking injury bug is hitting some people already. It hit me. I had T Higgins. So a lot of the guys that had T Higgins. So I had a decision, dude. It's funny, like at the end of every week, you always think, what should I have done? What could I have done? What could And I obviously you switch out a guy like my boy Chris would have told me to, Jameson Williams instead of Romeo Dubs, then maybe I would have had a dub. But that didn't work. And then it's funny because in my other league, I went Joe Burrow over Dak, which neither of them really lit it up. But Joe Burrow really shit the bed, man. Oh my god, I had him in the league, so
I mean, can you blame
he
him
let me
though? I
down.
mean, fuck. No Chase. T Higgins is out. I mean, Chase was there, but he wasn't there. He's limited. T
But
Higgins is
still,
out.
dude, honestly, look at Josh Allen. Who's his go-to guy right now?
Yeah,
Just because you don't
yeah.
have a legit, even Tom Brady back in the day used to do it with Deion Branches and shit like that. Like the best quarterbacks make guys, productive. Peyton Manning,
It
remember it
might
was
show that
like,
Joe Burrow's not as good as what people think he is.
right, right. Well, I mean, remember Brandon Stokely and Dallas Clark and all these guys that Peyton Manning used to make. Put them on other teams and let's see how good they are. But
Pierre
they're in the
Garcon.
system. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You're in the system with Peyton Manning, you're
Right,
gonna
right.
produce. And that's how
Yeah.
some people are. Maybe Joe Burrow's obviously not that. Losing to the Patriots at home, that's embarrassing. That was rough. That was rough, bro. And
Yeah,
then
it was
the whole
awful.
Jamar situation and the whole Higgins, dude. Like, so hopefully, people got some insurance right now. I'm rolling with JMO. Like, JMO's going to be my clear guy because Dubs, I went with Dubs because I'm thinking, Jordan Love obviously went with a little stack potential. And I thought, Jordan Love's going to have an MVP season. I've been talking about that a lot, but obviously missing some time, that's out the window. And all those receivers, the only one I think maybe Jaden Reed who
Huh.
balled out. Like he
Jesus,
might
dude.
still be because like he's like a Debo role or whatever. They run, line him up in the backfield. They put him in motion a lot. Like so he might still be solid because they're just gonna find ways to get him the ball. But he's like the only one. Like Christian Watson didn't do much. If you take away that touchdown, and he wasn't much.
No,
So
no, he
like,
didn't.
and if it's Malik Willis as their quarterback, he's not the best thrower of the ball. We'll say so. I don't. I'm not high on any of those receivers. I don't know how you can play any of those receivers right now with it, but Josh Jacobs,
not with Willis in there. No. I mean, but like you said,
yeah,
Josh Jacobs. Yeah, I can see Josh Jacobs.
him and Reed are the only two Packers. You're feeling good about still playing right now because I got a decision to make: Jameson Williams or Jaden Reed this week in my Yahoo league. And it's like, do I go with the hot hand and JMO? And well, they're both hot hands, but like one quarterback's still playing, the other one's not. But like I said, I currently have Jaden Reed in there, just because they're gonna get him the ball. I know they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I can see because St. Brown had a down week and Laporta didn't, have a
He had
great
all right
week.
week. Right.
It was a
He was
JMO
solid.
week, So like maybe I could see them trying to get those guys involved, which to me makes me thinks JMO might not. But I mean, he's their main guy outside, so he's going to get a lot of deep threats this season. I think, dude, JMO might have a solid
he's
year.
last year's Reynolds, dude, and he's way more talented, dude, and he's younger, he's faster. I mean, just looking at him in that role, Reynolds was solid with them last year, but you didn't see a lot after the catch with Reynolds. He'd get open and he'd get your first down, he'd get nice little 20-yard gains. Jameson Williams, dude, busted open, dude. That motherfucker. I was watching him play, and man, I'm like, even though I told you to start him over Dobbs, I didn't think for sure. But hey, 1,000%. I went back in our text because I'm petty like this.
Yeah, you did.
And I exclaimed it. But as much as I talk that shit, I got Jameson Williams, and I didn't start him. I didn't,
I should have exclaimed that Chris Godwin in the championship last season.
Oh,
I should have did that.
Sickening.
I
started Sutton. I started Sutton over Jameson. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah. But
that's the name of the game. Those are the toughest ones. Is when you could have put the right one in and you didn't. Those are the ones that sting, bro. Those ones hurt.
The ones you go back and forth on are the ones you have in there to the last second, and something tells you change it, and then you fuck yourself. I mean, it's honestly, does it seem like the ones that you stick with, you end up being better with, and the ones you change last minute, it almost seems like the ones I change last minute never work out for me. Maybe it's just me, but it just changing last minute more times than not works out less than just sticking with,
I agree. I agree.
Fuck.
I agree. Like a last minute, like you've had it the whole time. You spent enough time to think about it. Don't get fooled, man. Don't do it. You
did your digging. Did your matchups.
I did, bro. Like I did. And I drafted Williams like a few rounds ahead of Dubs. But in my mind, I'm thinking Jordan Love's, gonna do well. And the Eagles honestly had a pretty bad secondary last season. And I'm just the stack, dude. The stacks are a little overrated, man. Like they're cool.
People reach for him, and it can fuck you. And it could fuck you.
And it did. It made me fucking, because like you even said, that Rams game, the Rams and Lions, they're gonna have points, and
right.
You called it. I should have went with that one for sure. Either way, and it cost me a weekly winner, cost me a dub. I would have had the perfect week. I was damn near that one decision. I would have been 3-0 in fantasy and want to know what the Bucks, but
and a weekly, and you would have had a weekly.
I got one in my other league.
That's awesome. That's awesome,
dude. And got with Burrow. I had Burrow, and who else? I had somebody else not do that well. Dude, Garrett Wilson. He started. He had a nice first drive, but then he kind of like mellowed out a little bit.
I was thinking I was gonna beat you with that one, dude. Oh yeah. By the way, our live draft that we did, we had the 2 highest scores in that league, and of course, Brian had the highest. So I play anybody else, I win. But I play this fucker who puts up over 200 points. God, it's crazy.
Moody.
And I had Aubrey against him. I had Brandon Aubrey against him. So he watched my kicker put up 20, and then his motherfucker puts up 26.
Hey.
I'm like, Jesus,
kickers,
dude.
Man. Kickers, dude. Like, if you're in a league with kickers, they're kind of like there's a handful of them that are like
it's exciting, bro. I love having kickers, dude. Max was talking about the other day. He's like, I'm sick of defenses and kickers. I'm like, it's kind of cool when your defense or your kicker kind of steps up for you. And could win a fantasy game for you, honestly, man. And it's
I think Eric's highest scoring he went through the draft. His highest scoring player this week was the Vikings defense he streamed. And that was a good
stream. You streamed,
I think it was you streamed the Bears.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's talk about that because I think that's one of the funniest shits ever. You and Danny called it out, and it's funny. I was gonna be a dumbass. I'll just call it out right now. So I had Derrick Henry and
you're welcome.
Lamar. Right. And it's crazy. Yeah. And
you
first Danny
says
it, and then you. Oh, for sure.
Respect for listening.
So Yeah, I'm not too prideful. If I get some advice, most times I'm gonna fucking listen to it. Maybe it'll
Who's
help me win.
prideful?
But I was facing Danny, and I had the Chiefs going against my quarterback and running back, and Danny's like, "Yeah, smart move. Your
Yeah,
quarterback and running back against your defense." And I'm like,
that was like bold strategy, Cotton.
"Yeah." And then Brian, adds on to it, he's like, "Yeah, dude, like and they're both saying, I'm like, I think that's fucking pretty stupid." So I immediately went to the waivers, and my two teams that are kind of sleeper defenses to me was the Falcons and the Bears. Because the main reason why is because I feel like they
Good
have
call. Fucking
decently
Falcons.
underrated defenses, and they're facing their strength of schedule is trash. So I'm like, the Falcons aren't there. I don't think they were there. If they were, I just decided to go around them, and I went Bears, and fuck, dude. That if it wasn't
Good
for the
call.
Bears, I don't beat Danny, so Danny kind of beat himself.
Honestly, like, and speaking of that,
Yeah,
I'll just say it, dude. I'm gonna chase Tannehill. Well, whoever's playing the Titans, I say Tannehill. Oh my God, Will
Levis.
Levis.
Right,
Will
right.
Levis.
Hey,
Tannehill
speaking of Tannehill, remember the
wasn't a
Packers reached
dude.
out to him too.
Dude, they should. That'd
Yeah,
be a solid pickup for
over
them.
Willis.
Well, but I just feel like they honestly think it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Too short, right, to go do that with,
Yeah,
yeah.
to make that type of investment. So I think they're that confident in Jordan Love coming back.
Right. I'd sign Tannehill regardless, just to have him on the
But
bench. I
no,
mean,
but that Levis thing, bro, like I'm gonna chase him for sure. Like
fuck.
whoever's the Titans are playing, because that dude will chuck it up there, dude. That image of him just like hands on his head, like what the dude,
He knew, bro.
dude,
That shit is hilarious, dude. It's a viral meme. It's the viral NFL meme, bro.
dude,
He
that shit
dropped to
was
his
so
knees
down.
and put his hands on his head, dude.
Dude, that shit was so down, bro.
Oh,
And like he's been like a last. I did that in the I think it was in the final last season. I picked up Houston against them, and Houston went off.
yeah, it's
Certain
crazy because
defenses,
he had a couple good games, and man, dude, like that that fucking
because
game,
he's
he
a
just
gunslinger, bro. He'll
yeah, he is, he
fucking
is.
chuck it up there. So like sometimes they're big plays, but a lot of times they're fucking bad plays. So for a defense, dude, like he's been giving it up. So I stream defenses, so I'll be looking to go at him all the time.
I'm gonna share that Levis play because I don't know if this is gonna actually show Levis with his hands on his head or not. I don't think it's
That
gonna
shit was
show
so
his
down,
hands on his
dude.
head.
That was crazy though. Like,
Oh,
he
dude.
had no business making these throws, bro. Like some of them, he's just like I said, a gunslinger. I'll call it
Oh yeah,
nice.
for sure, absolutely.
So like definitely chase the Titans. They actually started out pretty solid, man. Like I know Pollard scored, but yeah, no. Anyways, fuck the Titans.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. So that's a viral meme, dude, for sure. And we so you went what 2-1 in your 2-1 in your leagues, right?
Yeah, I went 2-1.
Yeah.
Yep. And I got to stream a defense in two of my leagues. So like I said, streaming defenses, just go for the matchups. Go for guys that'll risk, or even like the Rams right now. They got a weak offensive line. The Lions might be, they looked good against the Rams last week. So there are certain you just got to target
For
some
sure.
of these weaker guys.
People are going to
Just find
drop
them.
and pick up defenses every week to where there's going to be defenses there. You don't need to panic on that or keep streaming that defense that is one of the top tier defenses and just keep them in there just because you don't want to lose them or whatever. You can put them on your bench if they're really that good, but most of the time you can just drop them and stream another defense unless there's somebody that's putting up 20 something points consistently. So
Right. Just looking, I got fucking Houston is available, surprisingly, in my other league. I'm definitely going to be trying to pick them up. Definitely not picking up Detroit this week. What the fuck? They're playing Tampa. Definitely not doing that.
do
Baker's
it.
getting
Don't be
Baker's
scared,
getting
dude.
some. He's getting some revenge, dog. But now,
um,
like Houston's a good streamer. Denver's going to get Justin Fields. They're another top projecting streaming option. Jacksonville, I don't want to say it, but they got a great matchup apparently, according to the stats. Just according to the stats, dude.
yeah. Yeah, I
Honestly, you
think
guys are going to bounce back though.
yeah, I think the Browns will definitely bounce back down. Stefanski's not going to let that happen 2 weeks in a row. He's done it to where he's kind of let things happen 2 weeks in a row. I think Jaguars, I think they'll still be solid against us. I mean, they could be a possible boomer bust thing. There could be a boomer bust. Anybody playing Carolina, I think every week, whoever's playing
Bingo.
Carolina.
Yeah, Saints didn't. Yeah, so you got the the Panthers and the Titans to chase after for
Yep.
streamers.
I agree with that. You said Houston, yep, against Caleb. Caleb Williams, even though they won, he looked
Dude,
awful.
the
He
Bears,
looked
yeah, that was
awful,
crazy.
man. And the paint and the nails shit again. God, I hate that shit, dude. Like, so, dude, I'm ashamed
be
that
a
he went to
man,
SC a lot of times, dude. It
bro. My
sucks,
goodness.
dude. We got
He,
Miller Moss now, though. Miller Moss, dude.
let's go.
Miller Moss.
Let's go. But no, Caleb, I'm actually just thinking about him because I got Keenan Allen in the league,
Right.
and he actually dropped a touchdown pass, which is very un-Keenan Allen-like. But hey, 11 targets. Everyone was talking about Rome Odunze. I think he had like 2 or 3, and he got hurt, if I'm not mistaken. So Rome might miss some time, which means if you got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, they're going to get some more run. You know, if Caleb Williams could actually complete some passes, that's a whole other story. But he had 11 targets, I think like 4 or 5, like 5 catches.
Right.
So like
For
normally, he's getting a few more of those. And like I say, he dropped a touchdown. So I'm actually a little optimistic. I have him, Trey McBride, a couple guys that underperformed. Like I think he had like 8 points, but he had another 8 or 9 targets for McBride too.
There was quite a few underperforming
dude,
tight ends. Let's talk about that for a second. Actually, we had Mark Andrews was terrible. I mean, I don't want to put it on Mark Andrews. He just wasn't in the flow of the offense. He was bad. Dalton Kincaid got like no love either. My God, fuck off. And then McBride too. I got McBride too. He didn't get a lot of love either.
He wasn't going to lose you because I think he still had like 9 points.
He had 8
so
points.
Like,
8 or 9 points. Right. Kincaid only had like 2. I think.
Yeah, those are
Andrews 3.
Andrews, yeah, those are
right.
the ones that hurt you. And then also they were drafted pretty high.
Right.
Like some of the other guys, you can get away with, but the ones you invested in, and they let you down. But thankfully, every tight end, other than Likely, really didn't really do much.
I mean, he's the top-rated tight end right now. He has scored higher than anybody else as a backup fucking tight end. He's the number 1 tight end.
You think he's going to keep that
fantasy.
up, or because I see, it's funny, like I see these like different shows and I see all this stuff. It's like, is he like we were talking about? Oh, he's the new tight end 1 over there, and honestly, he looks a little bit more athletic. He can separate more, but they were saying that the coverage was rolled towards Andrews. Andrews still ran more routes, just didn't get targeted nearly as much. So I don't know. Like, you think that's going to assist? I actually kind of.
All right, I do think it's going to say.
I think so too. I'm starting to think it's going to. Yeah.
Look at the playoffs, B, when Andrews is out. Whenever they could focus that on him, did he not hit Likely a shit ton still with Andrews out? Fuck yeah, he did.
Well,
he ate still.
He played against us last season. I think it was last season, and Andrews got hurt in that game on Monday night.
I think that's the game where he kind of took off. Yeah,
and he did really well against us. He's
no slouch. It's not like
it's one-trick pony. Like, that dude could play. Likely like that move he made down the sideline. Like, Andrews ain't doing that.
The catch, even though it was out of bounds in the back of the end zone, was fucking elite level. The catch that he made. I know he got his toe like right on the line. Should have wore white cleats, Mahomes. You fucking lame, saying that dumb shit. It was funny.
No, but dude, he's solid, and Lamar obviously, like, to me, he was looking for Zay Flowers, and then he was looking for Likely. Those were his two. And even a couple years ago, it was Andrews, and he had Hollywood. So it was Andrews and Hollywood. And now it looks like if it's Zay and Likely, then those guys do Likely. It's funny because there's always, last year it was Laporta in our league didn't get drafted. There's, Kyron. There's certain people that don't get drafted and ended up, balling out, and you find about him week 1. Likely might be the only really guy, because this year, like, it's like, who is it in week 1 that's like, oh, hurry? Because last year, Puka Nacua, another guy that went, undrafted, and it's like, oh, we got to hurry to the waivers. I got a top waiver, and I'm not using it. Neither none of these guys are worth it for me. Like, Likely, I think
he's the number 1 waiver. Sure. I think he's the number 1 waiver, though. I think if you're going to go to your waiver wire and you really need a tight end and you're not getting production from a couple other spots maybe in your lineup, I think Likely's number 1 waiver for sure. It's long term. I mean,
right. I got Pitts in 2 leagues, and then I got McBride.
Thank God for the touchdown. Thank God, dude. Like,
the whole offense was bad, because
it looked terrible.
The bed, like, the whole offense was bad, and he got the touchdown at least. So
I think London's going to bounce back, and I think Kirk's going to bounce back.
I think the whole team, dude.
A whole new offense.
Yeah.
Whole new offense.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
So
don't give up on London yet, boys. Don't give up on London yet.
No, yeah, I don't think so. It's too early to panic on that.
Right.
So I hope they, as a team, struggle though a little bit. I just hope they're.
Of course you do. They're in your division. Of course you do.
Yeah,
Well, let's talk about some other waiver wire pickups. I know people are big on Jordan Mason, and I think he's a must-have for sure.
especially if you have McCaffrey. But
Yeah,
like
for sure.
when McCaffrey comes back, like that's the thing is like he's a handcuff,
Yeah, but
and if he's not McCaffrey's not on IR and he was a
right.
last minute scratch, like I think he's either gonna play this week or next week, and then how valuable is Mason? So it's like, do you really want to use a waiver on it? For me, like if you could add him, which you're not going to be able to at this
Yeah,
point, because some guys are going to use waiver, especially if you have McCaffrey, then he's definitely worth the waiver because
yeah,
we just see
yeah, for
what
sure.
the fuck he could do. Obviously he balled the fuck out, but he's not going to do that when McCaffrey comes. It's rare you got two running backs from the same team that you could actually play.
I think if you have depth, I think if you have enough depth already, that's there that you can, drop that, like you said, Dobbs or somebody that you don't really care about on your bench. I have Caleb Williams, like, if Mason's there for me, I think with the lingering for McCaffrey, if that injury lingers, and like you said, you've seen what, Mason could do. I mean, and it could have went off of the Jets preparing more for McCaffrey than they were for Mason, because I mean, you can't really prepare for a guy you don't see a lot, but
He's still like it's a running back, man. Like
right.
you got his tackle and stuff. He was making guys miss. He was breaking tackles. Like he
Hey,
played
Josh
well.
called it.
He looked
Mason
good.
Lynch, dude, instead of
He looked good,
Marshawn
man. He
Lynch.
had the same number and everything, number and hair.
Fuck,
Like I get
they
it,
were
but
they barreling over motherfuckers, dude. Yeah,
he
he looked
balled. He
good.
played well,
Yeah,
but at
I
the
think
end
he'll
of the
start
day,
next week too. I think he'll start next week too.
yeah, they bought some time. They definitely bought
Yeah.
some time. Who do they play? I don't know.
Niners. I'm not sure. I don't think it's anything. I don't think they play anybody tough like they did the Jets and
Honestly,
then got
yeah, I
fucking
don't think it matters.
steamrolled.
They should be cautious.
Yeah, be
Fantasy
cautious when you
football.
got a guy that just did that last week. Why even force McCaffrey to come right back? They got the Vikings. They're playing the Vikings.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so they'll probably hold him out again, but
Right.
Mason's going to be just a 1 week thing, maybe one more week. Because at
Yeah.
that, then I think McCaffrey's going to come back.
Yeah, and best handcuff. If you want to handcuff and screw over one of your homies, I think he's a smart waiver pickup. I think another one too. We were talking about Puka, Demarcus Robinson. I think it would be a solid pickup too as well. I think he'd be a top waiver, target for at least a couple weeks. And Tyler Johnson. I know Tyler Johnson played really well too in that game, but I don't see him over Demarcus Robinson. Whenever Puka or was it? Well, yeah, when Puka was out, or was it when Cup was out? When Cup was out, right? He balled out for like I think 4 games in a row, 5 games. He's like top 12 wide receiver for like 4 or 5 weeks, I think, in a row. Demarcus Robinson. I think he's a solid pick in a waiver as well if you're like short on receiver for a couple weeks. But again, that's a temporary
Just
waiver.
looking at it, dude. Like, I mean, we went against Luke McCaffrey from the
Yeah. How'd he look
from
too? I didn't really
Washington.
get to see how he looked.
Not bad, not bad. Not he's not going to be bad. And like he got a couple, I think, red zone targets too. So he's a potential guy that could be out there that I think is going to end up getting some looks. Dude, I'm trying to find this guy's name, number 88 on the Rams. Like he had a good preseason.
Is it tight
He
end?
got in a little. No, he's a receiver.
Okay.
Oh, Whittington. Yeah, there
Okay.
we go. I found him. Jordan Whittington, number 88 on the Rams. He did really well in the preseason, and I remember in the preseason they're like, oh my gosh, did the Rams find another one? Because like how Puka did, and they're
Right.
he's good with the ball in his hands, kind of like he's more of a Puka role. Like they might use those other guys differently, and I like Robinson to stay in his Robinson role because they
Right.
do all three wide. It was Robinson, Puka, and then
Cup.
Cooper Cup. So
Right.
now if you slide Whittington in there to play the Cooper Cup role, then Tyler Johnson and DeMarcus might rotate outside, like because he had some juice, man, for sure. So he's a potential sleeper. Is Jordan Whittington on the Rams, number 88.
What about Bucky? Possibly in deeper leagues or even just as a stash, dude. Bucky
Who are you
Irving.
talking about?
You
Hey,
know who
man.
I'm talking about? Hey, how much more efficient on the ground was he over Rashad, dude?
Hey, man. Chill.
Just
Chill.
saying, was he
It's
not?
different. No, he
Yeah,
was like when you look at
yeah,
the numbers, but
right.
like look at the backs. Like Rashad could do it all too. And it's different when you're not expected to get the ball. When you are expected to get the ball, like a lot of times on first down, depending on the formation, like he's our lead back. Like they're kind of expecting it, and and they load up against it. When the backup comes in, a lot of people think, oh, they're going to start throwing, and all of a sudden they sneak a little run in there, and
He
and
looks
no one
solid
knew
though. I
who he
like him.
is.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna know who he is now. That dude could play, bro. Like
Yeah, he
speaking of
could.
handcuffs, if you got Rashad,
I think
then
he's a good handcuff.
you should definitely be looking into getting
And,
Bucky
and
Irving.
then
Like
I'm trying to.
he had, I think it was a couple drives in a row. Like
He
two
had
full
70
drives in a
yards,
row.
right? 70 yards rushing or something like that.
He had 69 rushing yards, led the
Yeah,
team.
it's solid, dude, real
Yeah.
solid.
Rashad had 75 receiving yards, and he had
He was better. He was
107
better, yeah, through the air,
all
right, for sure.
purpose. But on the ground, it was like a lot of it. I think he had like 40 of those, 70 on like one run. Like it was
Right,
just a draw, and
broke
he
one
like
off.
had a nice long run. Yeah. But either way, like he's got vision. He led the college in yards per carry last year, and like he's always been a yards per carry guy. So he's definitely but he's a handcuff. A lot of
Right.
these
Yeah,
guys,
right.
like I don't know if you could play two running like it was rare when Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb were on the same squad doing their
Very
thing,
rare.
bro. Like
You don't see that a
and
lot.
you could play
Pittsburgh
two of them
tries to
because I
emulate it
flexed.
with Harris and Warren. It don't work.
Dude, I used to flex the Kareem Hunt all day long. That fool used to fucking ball. That often they used to just run, and run some more, or like throw a screen, but they would just use the backs a lot, and like nowadays it's more of a receiver screens and
Right.
things like that. So
Another handcuff was I think for ETN is Tank, the backup.
Bigsby, dude,
Yeah, Bigsby. I
and
think he's a good backup.
dude. It's crazy. Talk
He
about
could take the
outproducing,
rollover. Shit.
dude. That's what I'm thinking. So that's
ETN
the
looks
whole
like
different.
shit.
I think that dude, and he faded hard at the end of last season, the whole second half of last season. So I think honestly, like, and they had like an even split. Like I know Bucky outproduced him on the ground, but Rashad, he's clearly the lead guy, and he got the volume.
Yeah, I mean, he still did get things out of the. I mean, and we're talking about PPR. I mean, most everybody that I know, we do PPR. So I mean, if you're getting those receptions, which Rashad is, he'll be fine. But the ETN thing is more or less something that could happen for a role takeover.
Right. So that's why I got, Tank a little higher on my waiver running back list. I'm actually him because in my other league, my third running back is Ty Chandler, who was thinking was gonna, because Aaron Jones, another handcuff potential back, but Aaron Jones gets hurt, often. And I just thought that, he's used to, like AJ Dillon or whoever it is, like he's used to always kind of splitting time. And I thought, Ty Chandler might be a decent handcuff, but I found a couple better ones. And I'm definitely going to be looking to get either Bucky Irving or Justice Hill. Dude, Justice Hill.
I thought he was on the Chargers. For some reason, I thought all three backs, but Justice stayed with Baltimore. Correct. Right.
Yeah, he stayed there, and like, dude, he had what, I think 8 targets and like 6 catches. So PPR, like, dude,
they use him a lot in the 2-minute offense. They use him a lot on third down.
Every time on third down. If it's third down and more than 3 yards, then he's probably going to be in the game.
Right, and it could have been how the game was kind of going with if Henry's not that productive on the ground too, they don't use him that much in the pass game too. If he's productive on both, they'll keep him in there for pass game. I think Baltimore likes to switch it up a lot if that back's not, like with Gus when he wasn't going anywhere on the ground, they'd bring Justice in back there and have a couple runs and then start throwing him the ball. That's what Baltimore does. And then speaking of Baltimore, the ex-Baltimore Ravens, what about
Derrick
Dobbins,
Henry,
dude?
bro? Like Derrick Henry, he's gonna score a lot of touchdowns for sure, but he's never been a scat back. He's never been a guy that's going to catch a lot of, last year they had Spears that they used in that role in Tennessee for him. They've always had somebody they put in that role, with
He'll break a few out, but it's not consistent at all.
Right. And it's every once in a while. He probably gets 2 or 3 targets a game at the most.
Right.
Compared to we just said about Justice Hill, who had like 8.
Which is ridiculous
like
for a back, right?
A lot of these running backs, used to get and still do get, quite a bit of targets. Rashad White's going to get between 5 to 10 targets a game. Like he's just that
Baker
good.
dumps off for sure.
In the screen game, he's one of the better screen running backs in football. Like he can just weave his way through there. That's what he does good, best. So why not do it often? And that's what they do. The best teams
for sure
use their best players the right way. So, definitely going to be going for those PPR running backs like Justice Hill. I think he's going to be the third down back all day long. So in my other league, I'm not gonna use a waiver though. Like, dude, I'm fucking
No, you
stingy with
wait
my
till after.
waivers.
A lot of these
I'm
guys we're talking
stingy.
about doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but I mean they're there after waivers. I'll wait up till I'm not gonna lie, dude. There's times where I'll try to wake up, I'll set an alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody's done and y'all are all asleep. I'm over there fucking picking up players. I'll fucking do that shit 1,000%. I don't care. Like I'll wake up
Commitment,
my time 4
commitment,
in the
dog. You're
morning and
trying
go
to
back to
win.
sleep.
You're trying to win. Yeah,
Damn
damn. That's
straight.
no way. Yeah, I can't be doing all that. So
Yeah,
no,
no,
unless
just hey, set an
it
alarm, go back to
depends.
sleep.
It depends if the waiver is worth it,
Right,
or the
exactly.
player is worth
The
it. You know,
after the
like
waiver, right, for
right.
sure.
Yes, we'll see. But like,
Dobbins is another one too. Dobbins, he's not on waivers in a lot of leagues, but he's there in some leagues. So I mean, he's good too. Dobbins, I think,
I
is
don't
going to take
think
over there.
any of the 3 leagues that I'm in that he's available.
He's
I think
available
he got drafted in the 3 leagues that I'm in.
for sure. I think one of my leagues he's still available in, but that's also a 10-man one. I think a lot of 10-mans. He's probably there in a lot of 10-mans because they're already deep. So smaller leagues, he's usually there in. Adonai Mitchell, I think his name is for the Colts.
Colts.
Yep, that motherfucker looks solid, especially while Downs is out.
Dude, I had Addison
Adonai
draft him and he
Mitchell is his
played
name.
and
Adonai.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. He's with Addison. And
Mm-hmm.
I had Addison because he was like, I was like, dude, he's a rookie. They just, he's got some upside, and
Richardson missed him
I
on some
think it
plays.
might
It
have been
wasn't
like
even
his
on him.
last pick. No, but he does look good. And
Yeah, he does.
it's funny that you mentioned that, but he didn't do shit and Addison had a rough week. But hey,
Yeah,
he's not the only. I had a rough week too. A lot of us had a rough week, but
for
hey,
sure.
it's only fucking week 1, boys. That's the only
Yep.
good thing about it. Got a
Don't
long
panic.
season to go. Exactly. Got to adjust, bro. I think I started on one. No, I think I won 1-0 last year. I don't know if
I,
that's a
I
good
went
thing or a
4-0
bad thing.
last year and it only made the playoffs in 2 of the leagues, which kind of sucked. But it doesn't mean shit.
Hey, it's not
So
about how you start. It's about how you finish. For the Browns and our fantasy team.
damn straight. God, man, so depressing. It still stings.
My bad. My
Oh,
bad. My
no,
bad.
it's all
Hey,
good.
but
It's
your
all good,
fantasy
brother.
team balled out though.
For
Shit.
sure, for sure,
What's
for
you do?
sure.
4-1.
4-1, brother. I was
Four
shooting
and
for
one.
perfection if it
There you
wasn't
go.
for your punk ass.
2-1 over here. Hey man,
That's
fuck! I
right.
needed that one, or else I would have been
Hey,
one and
hey,
two.
you
I need to
killed it,
stay
man.
above 500.
Highest
I
scorer,
need
dude,
to
in
stay
what, 2
above
leagues?
500.
2 out of 3 leagues,
Yes,
highest
sir.
score. That's right.
Hey, and I fucking man, I played against the high score in my league. Otherwise, I would have beat like I think everyone but like 3 people or something like that.
Yep.
And if I would have subbed JMO, and then all of a sudden I got another weekly, I almost had 3.
You live and you learn, dog. You live and you learn.
Yeah, you gotta trust your friends, man. Trust your
For
fantasy
sure, for
friends.
sure. I think
But can
at
you
the
trust
at
them? But can you trust them?
if
That's a
I
good
think
question.
as long as you're not playing against them, I think it's the way to go. Unless it gets towards the end of the season and they're fighting for a playoff spot with you, I might give you some shitty advice. Okay, don't ask me if I'm fighting against you
That's
for a
probably why
playoff
I went
spot.
the other way. I think that's probably
Yeah,
the exact reason I went the other way. But it's too early, man. I should have
it's
just trusted the
early.
homie.
Yeah.
It's
I
too
got you, dog.
early.
I
Gotta
got you.
trust the
Yeah.
homie.
If it's late in the
That's my
season,
bad.
obviously I get not asking, but I got you, brother. I got you. And I know if I
For
ask
sure,
you,
boys.
I already said, hey, man, here's my advice. Use it or don't use it. If it doesn't work, don't hate me. I always say that, bro. If it doesn't work out, don't be pissed at me. I'm just
All
trying my
day.
best, dude.
All day. All day. All
For
right,
sure.
brother. It's been real. We fucking went over week 1. Our teams are solid. I got a couple injuries. Got some adjustment we got to do.
Me too. Same as well.
Hopefully, you're right. Hopefully we bounce back. I mean, like I said already, your team does, and
For sure.
hopefully my boys keep it rolling in Detroit. You're going down, Lions. Let's go, redemption in
Fuck the
Detroit.
Jags.
Let's get it. Hey, you guys are gonna get that dub. You guys are getting that dub this week for sure.
Hey, that's right. That's right. And we got to live like that. I hope the Browns think like that. Hey, Jameis got to get the boys hyped up. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Let's go. Let's go. But anyway, just to close it out, anyways, you guys always subscribe and fucking let us know how your team's doing. If you want to come on, we can talk sports all day, every day. It's what we do. Meta
That's right.
Sports. Lock in, subscribe. Catch you guys
Lock
next
in.
time.
Yep. And I'll bottom of the video, we'll go ahead and put the best waiver picks for this week and the guys you could drive after waivers too as well. Later, boys.
Check them out.